And it's not, and again, it's that kind of thing. And again, it's that kind of thing that makes you wonder why. It makes you ask that question, why did they do it? What were they thinking? Even back then, and that's what, from what we are now, 35 years ago? So 35 years ago, you had this question being asked. And yet, people wonder. And yet it got people asking and wondering, what were they thinking adding that scene in? It just, what was the point? I mean, basically you have a young adult female, like I said, maybe in her early 20s, kissing a young boy that's basically almost 10 years younger than him on the lips, as if it's a lover's kiss, as if it's a kiss between two lovers. It makes people question that. I mean, I'm sure that people question the scene in the movie where she basically opens her fur jacket up or her fur coat up, embraces him inside, and basically and goes to the young boy while he's kind of freezing a little bit and uses it to comfort him, keep him warm, basically bringing him inside of it with her. I'm sure some people question that, but still, it's moments, like I said, with the kiss scene at the end, that makes people wonder, what was the animators thinking? What were the screenwriters of this film, of this anime, this manga? What were they thinking? Why would they come up with this? And again, that's Galaxy Express 999, which was, that movie came out around 81, 80, something like that, basically 35 years ago. And again, it's one of those moments that make you question. What were they thinking? What was the point? But again, it goes back to what I was talking about. It's things like that that make anime overall, those images, those scenes that make anime that make anime the visual art form it is today. That make it the visual medium in pulp culture that it is today. That's what it makes it. It makes it that visual medium, that visual aspect of pop culture. This is why when Ghost in the Shell, I'll give you an example, cast Scarlett Johansson in the lead of the Major for the live action adaptation. Anime has become such a centric part of our lives in pop culture that it was an insult to a lot of fans that they had done this. A lot of fans. It was basically an insult. But again, that shows you the effect, the mass effect, if you will, that anime has had on our culture. Anime has had on us, has had on what we see. And again, when it relates to what I'm talking about here, it's the same thing. When we see anime brought over, or we somehow get to find a way to, like I was saying, when we see anime brought over in some shape or form, whether it's brought over through sites like Crunchyroll, streaming services like Crunchyroll or Funimation or whatever, Anime Network. And sometimes we get the legit anime, no pretense, no dub, no nothing. Or even straight English dub translation of the source material itself. What makes us watch this film, what makes us keep coming back for more and more and more, and proves by doing so that anime has become an integral part in our pop culture, and it's basically cemented its place in history of animation. It's not just the great, beautiful animation, great visuals, great, beautiful animation visuals that we get. It's not just sometimes the perfect blend, like I mentioned at the beginning, of animation, story, and characters. It's one of the things that makes anime so beautiful and memorable, and has helped it cement its status and cement its place in history with fans of animation overall, is those moments that make you question what the blank were they thinking? What was the blank of putting this in? Why did they come up with it? You know, you take a look at an anime like Paprika, and it gets a lot of compliments. It gets a lot of compliments, but there are scenes in it, moments in it, that make you think, what the blank was the point of that? What the blank were they thinking? What the blank is going on here? You know, was this writer of this anime and the animators that animated it, were they on something when they came up with it? Again, it's that visual it's that verbal representation of us asking that question that makes anime so intriguing, makes us want to come back for more and more and more. You know, when Sage did his review of Evangelion, he also did a review of basically a knockoff of Evangelion, but more on a near softcore kind of proportion. And there's a scene in this knockoff where one of the main, well, semi-main female characters has sex, literally behind the curtains, with the main young male protagonist, a boy that's probably about 14, 15 years old, and the girl that has sex with him, and the doctor that has sex with him is probably about 10 years older. And it's like, what did we just see? What was the point of that? You know, it makes you question. You know, it makes you question, what were they thinking? Were they on something? Why did they write that in? Why did they add that in? And again, that's what makes anime such a great fix in pop culture. It makes you want to come back for more. It gets you intrigued. Moments like that, scenes and imageries that I've mentioned, make you wonder what were they thinking? Why did they come up with that? You know, it makes you wonder that. It makes you question, you know, what were they thinking? Why did they come up with it? And it's, you know, that's the thing about anime. No disrespect to Western, European, Australian, Chinese, you know, Asian, whatever animation. They're all great. They all have their moments. Believe me, I know. But something about anime from Japan and what they do visually that makes you question, what were they thinking? What was the point? Why they put that in there? It's what makes Japanese animation so memorable that you want to keep coming back for more. You know, I mentioned movies like Bahi and 1 Million Year Trip and 1001 Arabian Nights all by Osamu Tezuka. And you look at that and it makes you wonder, if you've ever seen those, it makes you wonder, what was Tetsuku thinking at the time when he came up with these, when he wrote these scenes in, when the animators animated them in. It's like, what were they thinking? No one really knows. No one really knows, folks. But again, that makes you come back for more. It makes you want more. It makes you crave for more. It makes you want to have those questions answered. And again, that's what makes anime, I know I'm repeating myself here, such an integral part in our pop culture today. The fact that it gives you these visual mediums, these visual imageries that make you ask, what was the point? What the blank were they thinking putting this in? You know, it makes you question what if they were on drugs or something, honestly. You know, it really does. You know, it really does. You know, like I say, you take a look at this, I'm pretty sure it's got its moments. There's no doubt about that. But again, it makes you wonder, what were they thinking? You know, why did they come up with it? You know, and sometimes it becomes what is known as a brain teaser. It manipulates your mind. It makes you want to know, makes you want to question, okay, it makes you question, you know, sometimes whether what you saw visually is canon or it's not going to be canon. That's basically what I look at. And again, that's what makes it beautiful. But like I said, it's not just those visual imageries. It's scenes and imagery like, you know, like Mattel, that's her name, I think, at the end of Galaxy Express 999, kissing the young boy, the young male protagonist, on the lips. You know, and making you wonder, what was the point? What the heck was this about? You know, it makes you question why, even though she was dying, one of the main female protagonists in the end of Evangelion kisses the young male protagonist, the young boy protagonist, on the lips as well, saying it's a grown-up kiss, and basically promising, hey, we'll do the deed later when you get back. It's like, okay, what's the point? What's going on here? You know, why would you? It's like, why would you add that? Why would they write it in? You know, and I know some people will say, well, Brian, you've had anime movies and shows here, and maybe not as much, but some animated shows and movies here in the western part of the world that have done similar things. And I'm not denying that. Heck, I talked about one with I think I talked about one that Rob the Wonderful of Planet Rob did for his cartoon clip show when he reviewed Bucky O'Hare. You know, when he did Bucky O'Hare, I can't think of her name right now, but basically the female cat girl, the female cat girl in the anime, in the show, ends up kind of falling for the young 10-year-old human kid, Willie. And it's like, and it's to the point that when he meets her and they have scenes together, she kisses him. She's smitten with him. And it's like, from an age demographic, she's like maybe 8-10 years older than him. And I know some people would say, well, between dimensions and everything, maybe Willie, being as old as he is considered an adult. Maybe there's nothing wrong. That's true. But still, it's one of those WTF moments of what the blank were they thinking, adding this kind of like relationship, this boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, attraction between the two characters in Bucky O'Hare. To a lot of people, it just didn't make any sense. But again, it's one of those moments in anime, and one of those rare moments in Western animation that makes you question, what the blank were they thinking? And when people hear about something like that, it makes them want to see exactly what you're talking about. It does. And again, it shows you the impact, even back then, that anime has and had on pop culture. Basically the fact that you can have an animation, a cartoon based on a video game in a franchise that just started up, in a comic book, if you will, where the main female protagonist falls in love, is smitten, becomes sort of like the girlfriend to a 10-year-old human kid that's added in. Well, it's an integral part of the franchise anyway, but still, it makes you question why. And back then, it shows you the impact anime had. So, overall, I know this video has gone 2 parts, and I do apologize. But I just want to talk about what I just want to talk about why the WTF moments in anime makes anime what it is, makes it the art form we love and we're fans of. It makes it an integral part of pop culture. So that's all I'm going to say on my take on it. You guys let me know what you think down below. Watch Bennett the Sage's Anime Abandoned and Rob the Wonderful's Cartoon Clip Show. You guys will see, believe me, when you guys watch those, you'll get your moments from them where they'll even be questioning in the review, which will blur the line between the review script that they're going off of and legitimacy of, even they'll question what the heck were these people thinking. So let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. If you know of any anime or even Western animation that has moments, imagery that makes you think, what the heck's going on here? Why did this character do this? Why did this character have a visual like this? Why was this character represented like that? Why did this character turn into that? Or why did this young adult female kiss this young boy? Any kind of other examples you can think of, let me know down below. Comment if you like. And I'm out.